Because You Watched. I'm Rekha Shankar.
I'm Ali Ghandour.
I am Jacquis Neal.
I'm Hillary and Matthews.
Guys, I'm not going to mince words when I'm talking about Top Chef.
Wow.
Okay, but you...
That's a comedian right there, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a comedian.
That's the height of comedy, what you just did.
Punning is the height of comedy, guys. Reference is the height of comedy. Top Chef is coming to an end in its latest season, Top Chef Destination Canada. I had a game for you guys based on my love of Top Chef and based on my love of how creative these people can get. So there are many challenges where someone will make something and Tom will remark, no one would think to make this unless we gave you those parameters. Kind of like patting himself on the back for their achievement, but like whatever. Being like, we gave you such a crazy challenge. You made something incredible that you would have never thought to do.
I don't like that. It's giving self-congratulatory parent.
And it is. And do you have something to say about that?
No.
So I thought I would see how a bunch of creative people like us could try to guess what the challenge was based on the dish.
I love this.
That's fun.
That was made.
And
Okay.
this is you said Top Chef Destination Canada.
Well, this is going to be from all 22 American seasons. I'm going to give you
Wow.
dishes that I remember.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you what you think the challenge
That's
was.
harder because if it was only Canada, there's only 3 dishes that they probably have.
So sometimes, yeah, sure. A challenge might be like use maple syrup as the hero of your dish. You
Got
know?
you.
But sometimes it might be something like make a dish inspired by stunts, like in the latest Mission Impossible film.
Classic.
So then it's like they're making something
That's fun.
crazy. Or it'll be like, make a dish that you had to make only using one pot that is also inspired by this lookbook from Vogue. It'll be something like crazy.
Okay.
So it's not usually that crazy, but I'm
That's
only
good to
trying
know.
to give you crazy.
That's good to
yeah,
know
I didn't
because
want
now
you
I
to
can
like
think out of the box
exactly.
a little bit more too. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Now Jacquis going to guess Mission Impossible for
I
everyone.
am for everything.
That's the answer.
This is Mission Impossible 3, where Philip Seymour Hoffman counted backwards from 3.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay. So here's your first dish, and you're going to tell me what you think the challenge was.
Okay.
Barley pretzel cake with pretzel granita and honey mustard sabayon.
Okay.
Wow.
I
I got to guess. Can I swing?
You can take a swing.
Okay, my swing at this one is the challenge was mall foods inspired by the mall. And this person went, I'm a big Auntie Anne's pretzel head. This is my dish tribute to Auntie Anne's.
Yeah.
And there were probably some other good ones in there, like somebody made like an Orange Julius type dish.
Yeah.
I really like
yeah.
that. Mall foods inspired by the mall.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That rocks. You said pretzel. We got cake in there, but also we got barley, which is beer. So I am thinking this is like carnival theme.
Okay. Incredible.
I was
that rocks.
also thinking in that realm, and first I was thinking like Oktoberfest, but I think we'd
Oh,
have
that's
more
fun.
overt German
Yeah.
signposts in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So similarly, I'm gonna go Milwaukee. Like something about the pretzel and the and the
beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do I think pretzel is Milwaukee?
Do we know what a granada is?
A
Yes.
granita is kind of like an icy, like an ice cream or like a dessert.
It's like you freeze like
Yeah.
like lemonade and
Yeah.
then you like
You stab
stab
it.
it and it
Cool.
makes it like a slushy.
Yes. Hillary, you're crazy close.
Milwaukee
So-
inspired by Milwaukee.
Bar snacks made into part of a progressive menu. So this person, Radhika Venkatesa, South Indian freaking legend on the show,
Hell yeah.
literally made me cry with some of the dishes she made. Made this incredible dish in Top Chef season 21, Wisconsin.
Whoa.
I got chills.
Let's go. Look at that.
I literally got
I see it.
Oh,
I see the chills.
Oh.
I love this show so much. Incredible. Next one.
Yep.
Next one.
Cheese puff set in chocolate bar mound.
Out the gate, I'm gonna say Costco, inspired by Costco.
My guess on this one is I'm so torn, but I'm gonna go with the more interesting one. Breakup foods. This is
Whoa.
like breakup recovery challenge.
I'm gonna go with what's in the back of the pantry,
Yeah,
inspired by
cool.
the pantry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Jacquis is closest.
Okay.
So this is cheese puff set in chocolate bar mound. Use vending machine snacks to make an amuse-bouche. So that's Top Chef season 2, Los Angeles. One of the worst seasons if you want to watch it. If you like drama, you will like that season. I didn't mean to make direct eye contact with you, but I
Do you
don't
like
like
drama?
drama. I like
Guilty.
food.
Yeah.
So I think that season sucks.
Oh, 'cause
there's
it's
a lot of
dramatic. There's
drama.
a lot of drama.
Someone like puts someone in a headlock and tries to shave their head, and he gets kicked off
on
the show.
Top Shelf?
Yeah.
On Top Chef?
Damn.
Okay, here, I'll give you a couple more. Poisoned apple and
Okay.
cherry pie.
Disney inspired like snacks.
Yeah,
Did you get it?
I don't know.
So I think, yeah, you're totally right. Poisoned apple, obviously, we're thinking Snow White.
Yeah.
Cherry pie is interesting. I wonder what that means to the narrative of this dish.
Yeah.
Right.
Off the top of my head, America, David Lynch.
Okay.
Dad, I lost my pie virginity. What was that movie called? American Pie.
Dad, I lost
Dad,
my
I
pie
know
virginity.
you were
Yeah.
right. It was Dad. I lost my pie virginity.
Yeah, that was the working title.
That was a working title.
That was a working
And then they
title.
decided it might be too confusing.
Yeah.
That's like one of those when they take a movie title and they have to like translate
my-
it to other languges, but like the phrase American Pie doesn't make any sense. So then when it gets released in the Middle East, it's like, Father, I lost my pie
Have
virginity.
we talked about that? My friend pointed out one that was Puss in Boots when translated into, I forget, I think it was like a Scandinavian language, and then translated back becomes Shrek's cat.
Oh, Shrek's cat. Yes, that's great.
Which is just so delightful
had a-
because I'm like, what is Shrek? That Puss in Boots couldn't be translated, but we're like, well, Shrek is an international concept. We all know what that is. There's a Shrek in every
This is
language.
Shrek's cat. It belongs. It's the cat that belongs to the Shrek.
Yeah, at the Tower of Babel, no one was communicating. But
Yeah.
they did start just pointing to pictures of Shrek, and everyone was like, oh.
I get it. I get
Shrek
it.
is on the Rosetta Stone if you look close enough.
I'm gonna
Use
narrow
them
it down
carefully.
to Disney villain snacks.
That's
cool.
Disney villain snacks.
That's
Okay.
good.
The challenge was make a dish based on Snow White and the Huntsman.
There it is.
You're all
God.
really close.
The Huntsman.
That was Chris Jones from Top Chef Season 9, Texas. So you guys
Thank you,
all get a
Chris.
point.
Hell yeah.
Give us a humdinger.
Okay, I'll give you a humdinger. Eggs with leeks and potato cereal, chocolate drink mix, whipped cream.
Whoa. Eggs?
Eggs with
leeks.
What's a leek?
A leek
Again?
is like a long, like a thick scallion crossed with onion.
Okay.
Think.
Okay.
You know Pokemon?
somewhat,
You know
yeah.
Farfetched?
No.
He's holding that leek. He's
Okay.
that how-
He's holding the leek.
All the Pokemon fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right.
So eggs and cereal, breakfast.
That feels breakfast.
Right.
Phil's breakfast.
Chocolate,
Chocolate drink mix.
chocolate
too.
drink.
Chocolate.
Weird, but also breakfast,
Yeah.
let's say.
Yeah.
Potatoes can be like hash browns.
Yes.
Home potatoes.
Leek is a weird one.
Leek, yeah. I have an idea.
Go off.
I'm gonna start us off. This all sounds like things that when I was like 8 or 9, and my mom just said, "Go into the refrigerator, grab anything, and start and make something." So I'm gonna say, "Kid rummage in the refrigerator."
That's cool.
is the thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to say bastardized breakfast.
Great. And Ollie, are you kind of just
I'm just gonna
jumping
hone.
on?
I'm gonna hone that down into a bastard's breakfast.
Okay. Yes. So it's okay. This is a kid whose parents aren't married. Trying to make breakfast.
Yeah.
Perfect.
This is very controversial.
Yeah.
And the ratings
A
were through the
bastard's
roof.
breakfast.
Yeah, it's really specific. So this was hung when Top Chef Season 3 Miami. Make a dish out of food in one grocery aisle for $10.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I believe you could also add what was in the Top Chef kitchen. So he had all these cereal aisle products that were processed and very sugary. And then I think you could use a couple of like grocery items from the Top Chef kitchen. And what he made was a Smurf village.
Did you approve of this? when you saw
Hung
it?
is crazy. Hung is still probably among the
Oh.
fastest chefs that has ever been on the show, and he was on season 3. He's nuts. He could like break down a chicken in like 4 minutes, and I don't know what that entails. I haven't done that before, but it seems complicated. He's crazy, and he, spoiler, won that season, and it was
Interesting.
kind of obvious he was going to.
I'm gonna be real with you. That looks disgusting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm not a huge
It's
cooking cooking show fan. Not that I don't like them, I just don't seek them out. But whenever I watch a couple, like I watch Nailed It, which is always fun.
Yeah.
Or whenever I watch other ones, I'm like, this is fun. You've kind of sold me on Top Shelf.
Top Chef.
Top Shelf. I keep
No,
saying
I
Top
like it.
Shelf.
It is the top shelf of cooking quiz
Yeah.
shows.
You sold me on the top shelf of cooking shows.
It is so much about creativity. I guarantee anyone in a creative field will be inspired by watching Top Chef. Guys, thanks for playing this game. Top
Thank you.
Chef is about to wrap up. I don't work for them, but I do think you should watch it.
All right, everybody. I have completed season 2 of The Rehearsal. I never watched season 1. I saw the first episode of season 1, skipped right to season 2. I am done with it. I know we've been talking in our group chat about this season.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just start off with saying, only a white man can get away with the things that Nathan Fielder gets away. This motherfucker, he flew a commercial plane. Listen, I was flabbergasted. First of all, this season I had so much secondhand embarrassment. The Kiss episode was the most cringiest shit I've ever watched on television. I would rather kiss my mom. And
Clip that.
Yeah, clip
say,
that.
clip that. I would rather kiss my mom. But then, like, all right, we get through the season, and I'm like, this is crazy. And then all of a sudden, we get to the last episode, which is brilliant TV. And it's like, hey, by the way, I got my pilot's license. And the end of this episode is going to be me flying from San Bernardino to the border of Nevada, back to San Bernardino, just for a thought experiment. It's insane. Ali, I know you are our resident Nathan Fielder top fan. What was your thoughts on this season? Because, like, I have many.
Oh man, I loved it. I think like what you're speaking to is one of the pieces that I love the most about it, which is just the commitment to even the stupidest idea, just like played out 110%. I love that he's so meticulous about going about things in a way that tries to make it as airtight as possible. You know, it's not like a stunt where he's just like, oh, let's make it look like I'm flying the plane. It's like, no, motherfucker got all of his hours in, got certified for it. Along the way is pointing out all of these scary like pieces of truth where it's like, wait, that's all that I need in order to jump in and start flying passengers, you know? And I think it like highlights so much of that. And the whole time, another piece that I love about this last episode is there's this level of confidence of knowing that the audience is with you and aghast enough to like not need to keep inserting comedy. It's like this storyline that like Nathan is going to be flying a plane full of real live people is enough to keep you engaged this whole time. And then every so often we'll point out, is that a bird's nest like in the plane? And it hits so hard because there's so much tension while you're in there. It's unlike anything on TV. Just fucking thrilling.
So I watched it last night, and I feel like my brain still needs a little time to unpack it. So I'm going to kind of do that live right now. So he's on a journey the whole season of trying to improve the safety of air travel, commercial air travel.
More specifically, the communication between pilots.
And do that through communication between pilots and co-pilots.
Yes.
I think that in watching him become a pilot, it illustrates the fact that every pilot that exists is just a human being, which he also says at the end of the episode. Mm-hmm. And we are used to viewing Nathan as like a flawed person. We're like, this is a weirdo. Mm-hmm. And he also has the very interesting autism journey.
Yes.
I think he's highlighting that in a very cool way, that there are these things like that etc. moment is such a moment where it's like humanity, society, culture, whatever has agreed that like, oh, and we all kind of know like any of those types of things or etc. right? And there's like a collective understanding. And I think Nathan in his characterness comes along and is the person who goes, well, wait, why does it work like that?
Yeah.
What do you actually mean? And in doing that makes the whole thing fall apart and everyone kind of go, we actually don't know what we mean. Like, wait, that's the rule, you know? Like it pokes holes in things by just kind of questioning them directly and awkwardly. And it creates these moments that puts humans on their heels, and then you see how people respond in all these crazy ways.
Yes. Does anyone have any inkling about like the behind the scenes of this season? I am so curious because like he really buries the lead until the last episode that like, by the way, this entire time I've been certifying to become a pilot.
Yeah, he loves
and
reveals.
I've been flying over the Mojave and like all these things and like,
and also I'm flying like in like a different country right now.
Exactly.
As we speak.
Right.
That was arguably the craziest part. I was like, it's one thing if you're doing a stunt to fly to the Nevada border and turn back and land again in San Bernardino, but I was like, the fact that you as a man have gone on to like fly just kind of because you want to now that
It's
you're
wild.
just flying. What were they, 747s?
yes.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's 737.
737s?
Yeah.
And then he's like, that when he's talking about flying over the Atlantic Ocean for hours, and then the sands of, what was it,
Sands
Libya
of
or something?
Namibia.
Yeah. Like, I was like, that's wild.
Yeah.
I feel like this all goes to the original question Jacquis posed about like, how did you have the money to do what
does he have?
Yeah.
On somebody at HB.
But
it feels like the budget for this show is $1 billion.
it must be. And there was something inspiring to me afterwards to be like, look what you can do when you give a comedy money.
Yeah,
like,
true.
Yeah.
damn. Like, we are so inundated with comedy that costs no money and it gets 3 episodes and dies.
Yeah.
And it's like, season 1 of The Rehearsal, I liked the episodes I saw, but without the through line, it was a little tough for me.
Yeah.
This through line kept me hooked.
Yeah,
And-
it keeps you in a little bit.
I'm like, oh, we let us show cook a little bit and then gave it $2 bajillion to make an airport and get him certified to fly.
If you give an alt comedian $1 billion, you can get a show that makes people go,
Huh?
wait, what the hell?
Isn't that a guarantee worth pursuing?
Do we think any portions of this show
Or fake?
is fake? Because there are some moments in this show where I was like, Nathan Fielder, great, blah, blah, blah. But this is also not how real people act. Like in certain portions of the show.
Oh, you mean like the normal people who he
Yeah.
has? Oh,
Like the-
they I
Yeah.
think are pretty real.
I
Yeah,
think those people are real.
I can speak to a little bit of this, but one of those pilots that they brought in when they were like, they had the room full of co-pilots, and they're like, then we brought in the pilots, and there's the guy who reveals himself to be this like creep who was banned from all the dating apps and stuff like that, right?
You're right.
People dug up who this person was and found, and I followed some of this research myself, and it was crazy. It was like, that person is certified to be a pilot, is a real pilot, but has also proven to be someone who has already kind of tried to get themselves into like TV film kind of world. So this guy, I forget what his name is.
He tried to do the challenge.
You can
didn't
look
he?
him up. It's
American
worse.
Ninja Warrior.
It's worse. He ran there's at least a pilot of it. You can find the pilot online, but it is a bikini barbershop is the name of the thing. Yeah, he's in like that kind of zone, but he is, same as Nathan, a certified commercial pilot. So when people find a guy like that, it makes you kind of go, okay, if that person signs up for this show,
Right.
producers have to be aware of who this person is.
Yes.
And they're very much like, oh, this is good fodder. This is going to be gold. But they're presenting him to the viewer as if
Yes.
like, we just found random normal pilot
Yes,
and now
it's
look at the weird shit he's saying.
It's a bit of a self-selecting pool, you have to imagine, if someone
Yeah,
applies to
absolutely,
the
right.
ad and is
Yes.
like, I'm a pilot that wants to be on TV or whatever.
Right.
Even the guy who was like quite shy and did the kiss.
Yeah.
I think the scenes with Nathan by himself, or when Nathan is the point of comedy, like, it must be fudged that he got a voicemail from his doctor.
That's what I
That's
while
the same
Evan,
time.
that's like
Yeah.
that's
Right.
a scene
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you get
That's
that
the
they
scene.
probably
Yeah.
filmed in multiple ways.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
probably
yeah.
didn't get a voicemail, or probably
not.
didn't delete
or
it.
got it like 3 weeks before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe even didn't try to get tested. Like that
Yeah.
storyline, I think anything involving just him might be fudged.
Might be fudged. Okay.
Just before we end, I did want to read Tawny's text messages.
Do it.
Yes.
Because we won't talk about The Rehearsal again. And so Tawny in our group text said, I watched the finale and then got on a flight to Germany, and I could not stop staring at every pilot I saw in the airport. Like, number 1, do you need to talk? Number 2, have you ever kissed a woman? Number 3, or been thrown off of every dating app for literally no reason?
So
All
funny.
questions that we need to know the answers
Yeah,
to.
put that on the questionnaire. Forget asking about anxiety, etc.
Have you kissed a woman?
Have
and-
you been thrown off every dating app? That is important for me to know.
That is, yes, check yes or no.
As we
Jesus.
wrap it up,
Yeah.
I'm going to go around the horn. You guys have to answer these last 2 questions for me. 2 questions are, give me a number of what you think the budget on this show was, and do we think the winner of Wings of Voice was a good singer or not?
Okay, I'm ready. I have literally no conception of real money, I would say. And so I am going to guess that they had a budget. Well, what popped in my head was $5 million. I already don't think that's true.
Wait, see, Hillary, it's scary because they're both laughing, and I don't know in which direction they're both laughing. I'm terrible at estimating.
Yeah.
If you were to be like, how big is this room? I'm like, 3 billion feet? I don't
Right.
know.
I think that 5 million is low. I think 5 million is low.
Okay.
And I think that she was a good singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think she was a good singer as well. Very fun to see. I was also so happy that paid off, that it wasn't, there was this stuff, the kind of discussion of like, this was just a scam. We brought in all these people, and it was like, no, Nathan delivered. We got to see that full performance.
Yes.
That is exactly the same type of performance you would have gotten had you been on a normal singing pilot, right? So yeah, I think she was a singer. Budget, I'm also really bad at this. I'm going to say a cool million, just 1 million.
Are you guys saying per episode or the whole show?
I don't know.
Listen, I mean, 5 million is under. I'm sure 5 million is under.
Like, we can't forget there's like elaborate giant puppets, and like there's an airport, there's all these people, there's this contest that we probably only see glimmers of.
There's a lot of travel.
Let's say that this is Game of Thrones, right, for alt comedy. So let's say that this is like, no, I can't get influence. I can't get influence.
We're getting whispers.
I cannot
from
get any
producers.
whispers. No whispers, please. I'm going to say each of these episodes is exactly what Game of Thrones costs for 6 episodes. And I think she was a good singer. I like that song.
Okay.
I thought it was fun. I don't know enough about singing.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, I will say, I think this show. Do you have an answer?
Actually, I can't find the answer, but as a professional in the business,
Yeah, let's
it's
hear it.
probably $5 million an episode.
Nailed it.
I was gonna say
Nailed it.
nailed it.
Hey, everybody, this is Because You Watched. And right now we're talking about what's up next in our queue for the month of June. What are people excited about watching?
This is coming out on Netflix June 24th. This is Trainwreck Poop Cruise.
No.
Yeah, this is a Netflix documentary. Trainwreck. There have been a couple of these Trainwreck series. The one that I think we watched on the plane was the one about Woodstock '99, which was turned into an absolute disaster. Very fun watch.
It's really good to watch if you have flight anxiety. You actually shouldn't watch it on the flight, because even though the train wreck of Woodstock 99 has absolutely nothing to do with air travel, your adrenaline, just hypothetically, if you're this type of person, is already spikeable, and so you actually don't want to watch.
I love that.
You don't want to watch it. It
don't
actually
wanna watch
becomes
it.
too stressful to watch.
Juggling.
Too stressful.
Yeah, people tip
anxiety
over
and
porta potties and
stress.
set things on fire. So,
It's great.
anyways, but it is worth watching on the ground.
And here's the description for this one. I don't remember this. This is from 2013. This actually happened. An engine fire leaves 4,000 passengers stranded at sea without power and plumbing in this wild documentary about the infamous poop cruise of 2013.
I do remember this.
I remember this. I don't remember. I never so succinctly called it that.
Yeah, I don't remember it being called that, but I remember this cruise as probably our resident cruise guy.
Oh.
Oh,
Didn't
really?
you say
Okay,
you've
yeah.
been on 20 cruises or something?
I've been on 11. I'll be going on my 12
not
in
20.
June. So
Wow.
maybe I'll watch it on the cruise.
You madman.
They have since refurbished this same.
Oh yeah, the
boat.
boat was gonna be back in service. Those boats are expensive. This sounds awful, and like shows like this will be like, see, this is why I don't go on cruises. But then we'll watch the rehearsal where a plane crashes and we still get on planes. But this sounds very fun, and I want to see it.
I'm stoked on this one. I think like the element of the Woodstock one that I liked a lot was just when you have a lot of people in a fucked up situation. Human psychology and how people get and the weirdness that happens.
Yeah.
The thing on this one that really piqued my interest was on this poop cruise. After things really started going south, at some point, the people in charge decided to placate these people. Let's just open the bar and give away the alcohol, which to me seems like one of the worst decisions you could make in this kind of situation.
You should open the bananas bar and the fiber bar and the
Let's go make people poop more.
I know, make them poop, but make it like nicer poop.
I think that it is really beautiful that the band played while everyone was shitting their brains out.
It's such a noble.
The band continued to play on as people were blowing ass and not being able to flush it on the high seas.
So yeah, they couldn't flush it.
They couldn't flush it. They were given little red biohazard bags to poop into.
That's real.
That is real.
The toilets were overflowing and backing up the hallways, seeping onto the carpet.
This sounds awful. This does sound awful.
And I think they were on this cruise for like 4 or 5 more days than they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
And the air conditioning went out.
Yes, all the electricity
it's
went out.
baked poop.
Yeah.
So it's like in this environment, people are going nuts. And then I was looking into it, and I was the other take on the alcohol thing that I think is interesting, and this feels probably more accurate to what happened, was like this wasn't just from the top down, people going, what can we do? Give them alcohol. It was probably that there was rumbling of like, either you're going to open the bar. It's so hard. It's so hard. There's so many opportunities for poop stuff going on. There's probably a situation more where there was
Movement.
Oh my God, Hill isn't going to stop.
There were whispers.
Or like the rabble was getting so rowdy, and it wasn't a situation where they're like, let's just open the bar to make people happy, that it was like, if we don't open the bar, people are going to start fucking getting behind the counter
gonna be
and
a
taking
mutiny.
stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Because I think also on these cruises, Jacquis, correct me if I'm wrong, there's like, you can usually get a ticket that's like drink all inclusive. So a lot of people have that ability to like get alcohol all the time.
Yeah.
So this would like split the population.
Oh, no.
Where like some people don't have access to the alcohol. So I think this decision is like, just let everyone have open bar privileges.
Yeah.
But then I don't agree with this, but don't the paying people who paid for the alcohol go get uppity and rude?
I'm gonna
Even during the
assume.
food crisis.
I'm gonna assume they all got refunds.
Yes. Yeah, they did. Everyone got a refund.
refunds.
Everyone got refunds plus $500.
That's not
for
enough.
this
I
thing.
think
That's
that's,
not enough.
simply not enough.
That's, as a person who has been on a cruise, that's not enough. I have something that I want.
Yeah.
I have 2 things. One that I'm gonna talk about because we all probably have heard of it and know of it, but Squid Game season 3
Oh, sure.
comes out in June. I did not know that there was already a season 3 shot when the end of season 2 happened. So when the end of season 2 happened, I was like, what the fuck was that? So 3 comes out June 27th, I think it is, on Netflix. But also on Netflix, something that I am very interested in. It's a show called Power Moves with Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, yeah, I saw the description for that. This is
yeah.
him with the Reebok company, right?
Yes, yeah. So Power Moves, I'll do the description. Follows Shaq as he takes on the role of the president. This dude has 4 million jobs. President of Reebok Basketball, returning to the brand that gave him his first shot. Teaming up with Vice President Allen Iverson, AI, Shaq is on a mission to revive the iconic brand and lead a bold comeback for Reebok's Boston headquarters. As a sneakerhead and as a dude who knows Reebok has fallen way off as far as like popular shoe brands that like especially like black urban youth buy. I'm very interested to see if they can bring this back, because in the 90s Reebok was it.
Yeah, for sure.
Reebok was
Totally.
it. And I'm very interested. I think Reebok was also the pump up shoe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
If they could bring Reebok back, I'll never not trust Shaq again.
So this is not a show that I would watch on my own. I wouldn't seek this out.
Yeah.
But you introducing it to the group, I would be down to watch it.
I would.
yeah.
I,
I'm down
might
to
be
watch and
good.
discuss.
Also, Shaq is just like good TV.
Yes,
all
he
the
He's good
time.
TV.
Yeah.
He's so fun to watch. He's so charismatic. Can we say like out of former athletes, he's like the most successful investor type like athlete? I'm trying to think
He's
of
definitely
anyone
the most
else.
successful commercial actor.
Oh,
He is
yeah.
the most
I've
successful
ever
commercial
seen.
actor.
Yeah.
He has his hands in the most cookie jars of any
Yeah.
athlete that I've ever.
Yeah, he's
like,
got
seen.
his portfolio of companies that he owns or is on the board of is like
It's
insane.
big.
Yeah.
Just off the top of my head, he has Papa John's, Carnival Cruises, the insurance.
You can call it the
Epson.
general.
The General, yes. I couldn't
Oh, yeah,
remember.
yeah,
I couldn't remember what it was
You
called.
had a cat food Friskies or something where he was going.
Oh
Yes.
my God, that was so cute.
Yeah.
So many. So many.
And I didn't know Allen Iverson was in the business
love that.
sphere either. That's gonna be cool.
Well,
to see.
he Allen Iverson was big with Reebok back in the day.
yeah. Okay.
Right.
And Allen Iverson is one of my favorite players of all time.
Cool.
And he's
Legend.
a Philadelphia guy.
He's a Philly guy.
So that's
Philly
really
76.
during the strike, people had up signs that were like, "The only good AI is Allen Iverson."
Nice.
And they're not lying.
Okay, cool.
not
So we'll
lying.
watch that.
Yes.
And then we'll discuss.
We'll discuss.
Okay.
Okay.
Rekha?
Mine's a little cheating because, and just like that, season 3 premiered last night, and last night is May, but most of it will be out in June.
Mm-hmm.
And when I tell you, I watched that episode last night, I had an incredible time.
Oh.
wow.
It is the best episode of the reboot,
Oh.
Interesting.
and it made me so hopeful for season 3.
Wow.
Oh,
I
what-
felt like our girls were back. They were doing slice of life dating stories.
Yeah.
They were doing sexual anthropology.
Yeah.
They were just dating and being out there.
The way we like them doing
the
it.
way we like it.
So
Yeah.
just kind of like a return to form about
Yes,
what was
definitely.
cool.
A
about
little
the
bit.
original.
And I will
Yeah.
tell you, goosebump alert. At the end of season 3, episode 1 of And Just Like That, Carrie takes out her laptop and starts to write.
Oh.
And I got chills. You can't see them now. I got chills.
Does she not write any other ones?
So in the regular series, she's a sex column writer.
Right.
And it is such a classic Carrie shot to see her typing at her computer
Right.
with the voiceover.
I couldn't help but wonder.
And just like that, perfect. And so in the reboot, famously they don't have a voiceover anymore because she's no longer a sex columnist, so it doesn't fit. That's fine.
Oh.
And she'd written
That was why they said that.
a couple of books.
Yeah.
But we never got to see her write those. It's just because it's 20
Well, we
years
actually
later.
did get to see her write those with that
In a
computer
montage.
animated seasonal montage
Yes.
of her at her window
after Big dies. And that's all we got. And she had a podcast that failed because she wouldn't do an ad. It's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense.
When this show ends, it's because we don't
do an ad for like vaginal wipes
Yeah,
or something, which is
right.
what she didn't want to do because she didn't
Right.
want to say like vagina on a podcast.
She's so discreet. She's a sex columnist, but she's
Listen,
very demure.
we can't even. The first 2 seasons are not canon. So anyway,
That's right.
she takes her computer out and begins to write again, and it makes you go, oh, is she going to write a book, and are we going to get to watch it? Is she going to be a sexual anthropologist again?
Yeah.
And it made me so excited.
Okay, but we
love
didn't
it.
get the voiceover. Okay. All right. Okay.
Maybe that's
okay, all right.
episode 2.
Yeah.
If there's voiceover again, I'll die because people think voiceover is a crutch. In like film school, you're like, it is a crutch for losers or whatever.
Not at all.
But in that show, the voiceover is so well written and it is so clever. And if you took it out of the episodes, you're like, these are 4 crazy storylines.
Yeah.
But Carrie ties them all together by making an episode about a guy who won't get circumcised until he's an adult and then is like, wow, I have a new dick now. Relate to a story about Big smoking cigars and flirting with women, relating to
prefer my cigars uncut.
exactly. You need the voiceover to get there. You need it.
All right, get real quick. Perfect.
Thank you. So my big excitement is to watch the rest of And Just Like That season 3.
Okay,
I'm so excited.
That's okay. So listen, that's great. I fell off that. I will get back on that with you. I will watch Shaq revitalizing and Alan, first name basis.
You and Alan?
Yeah, revitalizing thing. And well, that's it for this episode. Because you watched. Bye.